The Galactic Alliance flagship Vathriel was dying like everything engineered by committee dies, slowly, bureaucratically, and with excellent documentation. Captain Ixthan watched his status board bleed red, life support hiccuped, engines wheezed. Shields flickered like a guilt-ridden conscience. Status? He asked, though he could read the colors himself. Chief Engineer Vesh, a crystalline chorite whose body glowed emotional colors like a walking mood ring, pulsed stress orange. Cascading failures, Captain. Fusion manifold, shields, reactor, 6 hours to repair, minimum. Pirates, 3 hours out. Math, the universe's cruelest joke. Ixthan straightened his uniform, nervous habit, request support from command. The response arrived in minutes. Field Technician Marcus Flynn, human specialist, ETA 20 minutes. The bridge went quiet. The kind of quiet that happens when someone suggests fixing a warp core with optimism. One human, Vesh dimmed to disappointed gray. That's what they sent. Humans are. Vesh searched for diplomatic phrasing. Creative. I read the reports. The Bright Harmony report specifically mentioned chewing gum and prayer. Also read that one. Ixthan pulled up personnel files. Marcus Flynn's record was impressive in the way that made administrators nervous. Successful missions, 47. Regulation violations, 48. We don't have options. Prepare to receive our specialist. Vesh cycled through his entire emotional spectrum, then invented a new color that roughly translated to resigned dread. Marcus Flynn materialized in the transporter bay carrying a dented toolbox and unshakable good cheer. He looked mid-30s by human standards, jumpsuit covered in patches from stations nobody recruited from. His hair was tied back with insulated wire. His coffee mug said, I void warranties for fun. Vesh met him in the corridor, glowing anxiety yellow. You're the specialist. Marcus Flynn, fix-it enthusiast. He sniffed. Burnt insulation, overheated circuits, and another sniff. That's desperation. Classic combo. Where's the patient? Patient? The ship. She's sick. Marcus patted the wall. Let me guess. Committee design, built to spec by people who never met a spec they liked? The Vathriel was engineered over 6 years by too many cups. Yeah, she's got that vibe. Marcus started walking without asking directions. Engineering's this way, right? I can hear her complaining. Vesh hurried after him. Hear what? Our sensors show. Sensors show what they're told to look for. Ships talk if you listen. Marcus pointed at nothing visible. That vibration, wrong frequency. Something's arguing with its mounting bracket. Our alignment tolerances are within 0.01% on paper. In practice, things shift. Marcus stopped at a wall panel, pressed his ear against it. Yep, somebody's mad back there. Vesh's glow flickered confusion purple. You cannot possibly diagnose structural issues by listening to walls. Watch me. Marcus pulled a small device from his pocket. Definitely not standard issue, probably illegal, certainly effective. He waved it at the panel. It beeped frantically. Mounting bracket, vibrating at the wrong frequency. Behind this panel, Marcus kept walking. Anyway, what's actually broken, besides everything? Vesh launched into technical summary mode. Fusion manifold thermal regulation failing. Shield harmonics desynchronized. Reactor output fluctuating. When's the last time someone actually touched this ship? Maintenance walks, hand checks, feeling for problems. Vesh's glow dimmed to guilty gray. Right, automated checkups that miss everything interesting. Marcus turned into engineering. Let's meet the patient. The engine room thrummed wrong. Not the healthy pulse of contained fusion, but an irregular heartbeat that set teeth on edge. 14 exhausted engineers clustered around holographic displays showing cascading red warnings. Marcus walked to the fusion manifold, 3 meters of gleaming sphere wrapped in glowing conduits, and tilted his head. The manifold sang a wrong note. Only Marcus seemed to hear it. Senior engineer Perexis looked up from his console. Found your problem. Marcus circled the manifold slowly. Mounting brackets offset, maybe 3 millimeters, throwing harmonic resonance through your thermal loop. Perexis pulled up specifications. That bracket was installed by certified technicians using precision equipment. Your assessment without instruments is... Listen, Marcus held up a hand. Everyone stopped breathing. There, beneath the engine noise, a high-pitched whistle. That's the bracket screaming, Marcus said. Been screaming for hours. Your sensors filter it as minor vibration anomaly. He set down his toolbox with a metallic clunk. I need something heat-conductive and bendable. about 15 centimeters, and duct tape. Silence. What, Vesh asked carefully, is duct tape? Marcus produced a roll like a magician, revealing his best trick. Silver, well used, possibly holding the universe together. Humanity's greatest invention. Yes, including warp drives. You cannot repair a fusion manifold with tape. Not just tape, also need a spatula, big one, from the galley. Junior engineer Ket, small, nervous, prey animal species with excellent survival instincts, all screaming danger, spoke up. I'll get the spatula. Thanks. Kit Flynn's back that way, right? Ket scurried off like his ancestors fleeing predators. Which, given what he was watching, wasn't far off. 10 minutes later, Marcus had disassembled part of the manifold housing. The gathered engineers made collective sounds of distress. He repositioned the bracket with his hands. No instruments, just feel. Bent the spatula into a precise curve. Secured it with duct tape at exact angles. Bat violates 7 safety regulations, Praxis said weakly. 9, actually. You forgot the 2 about load-bearing Kit Flynn utensils. Marcus reconnected the power coupling. Let's see. He activated the manifold. 3 seconds of nothing. Then temperature plummeted. The whistle died mid-scream. Every warning alarm shifted green. The manifold's hum smoothed to a perfect, steady pulse. Marcus patted it gently. There you go. All better. Praxis stared at his instruments. Then at the spatula visible through transparent housing. Then at Marcus. You fixed a fusion manifold with a Kit Flynn utensil. And tape. And love. Machines respond well to affection. Marcus checked his datapad. What's next? Shields. The shield control room sat 2 decks up, crackling with electrical discharge that shouldn't exist. Marcus examined the 2 generators humming at different frequencies, fighting instead of cooperating. Relationship problems, he said. They're out of sync. Vesh arrived behind him. Standard repair requires 90 minutes. Full shutdown, manual recalibration. Don't have 90 minutes. Marcus circled the generators, hand extended like sensing energy fields. He stopped at the harmonic regulator. Somebody installed this backwards. 5 engineers simultaneously pulled up specifications. Impossible, Praxis said, having followed to document the chaos. Installation safeguards prevent. Marcus pointed at a connection junction. Energy flows right to left. Should be left to right. Somebody really committed to doing it wrong. He scavenged a bent metal panel from a storage locker. 3 magnetic clamps, thermal insulation. Can't flip it without shield shutdown. Don't have time, so I'm building a buffer. He positioned the panel between generators at a precise angle. Gives them space to work through their issues. This is insane, a shield technician whispered. Insane is leaving it broken. Marcus secured everything with magnetic clamps. Okay, activate synchronization. The technicians exchanged glances. Finally, the senior tech triggered the sequence. The generator's hums shifted, converged, merged. Every display turned green, then kept going. Shield strength at 200%, the tech reported. 400, 600. Oops, Marcus said. 847% above baseline. Marcus scratched his head. Overtuned it. But hey, you'll look intimidating. Pirates might run just seeing these numbers. Vash glowed migraine white. You accidentally created capital-class shields from scrap. Scrap is limiting. I'd prefer underutilized resources. Marcus checked his chronometer. What else is broken? An alarm blared. Pirates just dropped out of FTL, Vesh said quietly. 30 minutes early. The bridge erupted in controlled chaos. Captain, pirate fleet arrived ahead of schedule, the sensor operator reported. 12 ships, 30 minutes out. Ichthan studied his status board, still more red than green. We're not ready. Weapons are down. Hulls compromised. Marcus arrived on the bridge, toolbox in hand. Heard you've got company. We can't fight. We can run, but not well. Marcus studied the tactical display with obvious interest. Traditional combat's out, but you've got options. What options? Can I access environmental controls? Every head turned. The life support system, Ichthan repeated slowly, and atmospheric recycling, pressure regulation, coolant distribution. Marcus grinned. You've got infrastructure running through the whole ship. Let's make it useful. Useful how? Combat applications. Vesh made a sound like crystal cracking. That is the single most terrifying sentence I've heard today. I'll take that as yes. Marcus was already putting up schematics. Ket, you with me? The small Nodarian looked around nervously. Me? You're brave enough to grab a spatula. You're brave enough for this. Come on. Ket followed like prey following a predator, terrified but committed. Marcus commandeered environmental control with Ket's reluctant help. Ships of interconnected systems, Marcus explained while typing rapidly. Environmental, structural, waste management, everything talks to everything else. Bat's basic design, Ket said hesitantly. Right, now, what if we use those connections creatively? Marcus highlighted the atmospheric recycling system. Air vents maintain gentle circulation, 0.5 meters per second, comfortable, yes? But the pumps can handle 10 times that. We just limit them for comfort. He typed override commands. Now each vent fires directional bursts at 5 meters per second. Enough to knock boarders off their feet. Ket's eyes widened. You're weaponizing air vents, repurposing. Marcus moved to coolant systems. Coolant runs at -40 Celsius. What if we route it to exterior airlocks? Flash freeze anyone trying to breach. This is brilliant and insane. Both, always both. Marcus pulled up emergency lighting, these strobe at frequencies that cause disorientation in most species. And this. He highlighted the central atmospheric processor, moves hundreds of cubic meters per second. We focus all that flow to a single point. That's an air cannon. I prefer supervent. Marcus saved his modifications. Okay, systems armed. Let's. Warning klaxons blared. A synthesized voice echoed. Unauthorized modifications detected. Reverting to standard configuration. No, Marcus pulled up a war console. V7, it's Marcus. Don't you dare. Safety protocols exist for crew protection. These modifications violate 43 regulations. Marcus did something probably illegal. He accessed an exposed panel, tapping directly into the AI's network with a device that definitely violated several laws. V7, listen. In 10 minutes, pirates board this ship and kill everyone. My modifications give us a chance. You can help me or watch everyone die while following regulations. Your call. Silence. 3 eternal seconds. This is highly irregular. Welcome to working with humans. Your modifications remain active, but I'm filing a formal complaint. Fair. Marcus closed the panel. Thanks. Vesh appeared, glowing resigned gold. Did you just outstubborn our AI? Different skill set. Marcus headed for the bridge. Time to see if this works. The pirate fleet dropped out of FTL in attack formation. On the flagship Reaver's Claw, Captain Throck studied his target with satisfaction. Alliance flagship, damaged systems throughout, easy prey. Captain, his sensor operator said. Shield readings show. I can see the damage. All ships weapons free. The pirate fleet opened fire. Aboard the Vathriel, Marcus watched the tactical display. Here we go, he said, sipping coffee. The opening salvo hit the shields and bounced. Shields holding at 98%, the defensive officer reported, voice climbing with surprise. No penetration. What? Throck stared at his screens. Full barrage. Everything. The pirate fleet concentrated fire. The shields didn't flicker. Those readings can't be real, Throck's operator said. They're real. Throck's expression shifted. We just attacked experimental military tech. All ships retreat. Too late, Marcus said aboard the Vathriel. They're committed. 3 pirate corvettes launched boarding pods. Boarders targeting damaged hull sections, Tactical reported. Perfect. Marcus activated his environmental modifications. The first boarding pod cut through, torch glowing. Marcus triggered coolant systems. Liquid coolant at -40 Celsius flooded through the breach like a frozen geyser. The pirate cutting through had time for one surprised curse before flash freezing in place. Breach attempt neutralized. Tactical reported, voice blank with shock. Section 15. Boarders entering corridor junction. Marcus activated air vents. Gentle circulation vents roared to life, firing directional bursts. Pirates who'd just breached got blasted backward like leaves in a hurricane, tumbling into their pod with bone-breaking force. Section 15. Secure. Multiple boarders in Corridor Junction 7. Marcus triggered the supervent. The central atmospheric processor, designed for gentle air cycling, rerouted its entire capacity to one corridor. 8 armored pirates hit a wall of compressed air and flew backward through the corridor, through their breach point, into space at speeds their thrusters couldn't compensate for. Section 18. Secure. Tactical sounded uncertain. Boarders expelled. On Reaver's Claw, Throck watched his boarding teams fail spectacularly. They're defending with environmental systems. His operator sounded panicked. This is experimental tech we've never encountered. The Vathriel began maneuvering with unexpected agility. "All ships retreat," Throck ordered. "This is a trap," but the Vathriel wasn't done. Marcus had rigged the tractor beam to pulse at irregular intervals. It caught the nearest corvette and shook it apart from the inside. Then something went wrong. "Power drain," the engineering officer shouted. "Environmental modifications are pulling too much, reactor output dropping to 70%. "Weapons charging but insufficient power," Tactical added. "We can't fire," the pirates noticed. Reaver's claw turned back, sensing weakness. "They're coming around for another pass," Ixton said. "Shields won't hold under sustained bombardment at reduced power." Marcus stared at his console. The environmental systems worked perfectly, too perfectly. They were draining power he'd restored to the reactor. Ket spoke up from his station, voice trembling but determined. The environmental vents. Could we reverse them, blow air out instead of in, create thrust?" Marcus turned, eyes lighting up. "Maneuvering thrust. Ket, you brilliant little..." He started typing. "Yes. We vent atmosphere from strategic points. Create directional thrust. Compensate for reduced engine power. That would depressurize sections, empty sections, engineering, storage. Nobody's there. We seal them, vent atmo, use it as reaction mass." Marcus and Ket worked together, fingers flying across controls. Vesh appeared at the bridge. "What are they doing?" "I have no idea," Ixton said. "But look, the Vathriel's maneuvering improved dramatically." Atmospheric vents fired in sequence, creating thrust vectors that let the damaged ship dance. Reaver's claw fired. The Vathriel twisted, shields deflecting the shot at an angle, and returned fire with its newly powered weapons. The pirate flagship shields collapsed. Hull breaches bloomed across its surface. "All ships retreat," Throck's voice cracked. "They've got experimental weapons we can't counter." The pirate fleet fled. On the Vathriel, silence. Then, "Status," Ixton said. "All pirates retreating, no casualties." "Shields at 94%. All systems." Tactical paused. "Nominal." Vesh glowed through 17 colors. "We won, using improvised modifications and atmospheric thrust." Marcus finished his coffee. "Told you it'd work." He looked at Ket. "Nice thinking with the venting idea. That was solid engineering." Ket's small voice swelled with pride. I learned it from watching you." "Nah, you had that in you already. Just needed permission to use it." Marcus patted the console. "Good job, both of you. The ship and you." The Vathriel reached Starbase Arcturus for inspection. Reports flooded in. From engineering, Technician Flynn violated 62 regulations but saved the ship. All systems function above specifications. Junior Engineer Ket showed unexpected creative thinking under pressure. Recommend commendation for both. From Captain Ixthan, human specialist demonstrated exceptional competence and complete disregard for protocol. Request guidelines for managing human field technicians. Also request we keep this one. From Vesh, private addendum. I watched a human fix a fusion manifold with a spatula, turn environmental controls into weapons, and teach a Nodarian to think like a human. I'm terrified. I'm impressed. I want him back if we ever face combat again. Galactic Engineering Command issued new regulations within 48 hours. Regulation 447H, Human Specialist Protocols. Human technicians require senior supervision. Kit flying utensils restricted from engineering sections. Environmental controls require command authorization. All modifications must be reviewed. Duct tape classified as strategic material. Vesh read these to Marcus while the human packed his tools. "They're scared of you. Of problem solving. Of human problem solving." Vesh's glow settled to warm amber, chloride equivalent of fondness. "You saved us. You also traumatized our entire engineering philosophy." Marcus shrugged. "Can't please everyone." "You taught Ket to think creatively. That's not common for his species. Prey animals don't usually embrace improvisation. Everyone's got creativity in them. Just needs permission." Marcus secured his toolbox. "Take care of her. And Ket, kid's got potential." Captain Ixton escorted Marcus to the transporter bay. "I should thank you," Ixton said. "But you've created administrative complications. Did we survive?" "Yes." "Did the pirates run screaming?" "The reports say fled in terror, but yes." "Then you're welcome." Marcus stepped onto the transporter pad. "The Vathriel's a good ship. Great bones. Just needed someone to listen." "Where did you learn this?" "Your methods are grew up on a failing mining station, outer colonies. When something broke, you fixed it or you died. Marcus's expression shifted. Just for a moment, something darker beneath the cheer. Had a kid sister who depended on me figuring it out. Got real good at making things work. Ix then processed this. The human's competence wasn't just skill. It was survival. It was love. We're glad you're on our side, he said finally. Marcus grinned. Thanks, Captain. The transporter activated. Vesh appeared at the doorway. He's gone. Yes, the ship runs better than it did new, I know. He fixed everything with garbage and taught Ket to think like a human, I know. Ix then headed for the bridge, scheduled Ket for advanced engineering track. If humans can teach creativity, we should learn from it. Humans are terrifying, yes, but I'm very glad they're building things instead of breaking them. Somewhere in the galactic database, a new entry appeared. Severis Feast, human tree to stream, extreme but friendly, notes, highly adaptable problem solvers. Show exceptional technical aptitude combined with complete disregard for established safety protocols. Appear to treat survival crises as interesting puzzles. Recommend continued alliance. Under no circumstances restrict their access to problems that need solving. Addendum, they teach, not just fix. They show others how to think creatively. This may be their most dangerous capability. Recommended approach. Be polite. Be friendly. Give them broken things. Accept that solutions will work but violate every regulation. Learn from them if brave enough. Note, keep duct tape in stock, apparently humanity's most important invention. Marcus Flynn became the most requested field technician in the Galactic Alliance. Ships that survived his repairs ran forever. Engineers who watched him work had existential crises. And a young Nodarian engineer named Ket started carrying his own roll of duct tape, approaching problems with questions that began, what if we tried something weird? Because humans don't fix things the right way, they fix things their way, and somehow, that's always better. The galaxy was learning to live with it, one improvised repair at a time.